Hello, I am back home in Houston where it is oddly cold. I'm sort of cold. Anyway, today for Asexual Awareness Week, I'm going to talk about why we even have an Asexual Awareness Week and more importantly, why you should be an ally. First, according to a study conducted in the UK, roughly 1% of the population is asexual. It's already pretty well established that minority groups comprising much larger portions of the population need awareness, visibility, education, and allies. So of course a minority group making up only 1% of the population does too. But, you say, asexual people aren't discriminated against? Asexual people don't deal with prejudice? Well, I wish you were right. Recent research disagrees though. In one study comparing attitudes towards heterosexuals, bisexuals, homosexuals, and asexuals, respondents, and I quote, A, expressed more negative attitudes towards asexuals, i.e. prejudice, B, desired less contact with asexuals, and C, were less willing to rent an apartment to or hire an asexual applicant, i.e. discrimination. Moreover, of all the sexual minority groups studied, asexuals were the most dehumanized, i.e. represented as less human. In other words, according to the study, asexuals experience more discrimination and prejudice than even homosexuals and bisexuals who already experience like a whole freaking ton. And that's not to say that sexual minorities have it easy, like not even, and that's not to get into oppression Olympics, like who's more discriminated and oppressed or whatever, because that doesn't matter. The point is that just as those communities need allies, so too does the asexual community. I personally have had relatively safe experiences coming out. And by safe, I mean I've been laughed at and made fun of. I've been told I can't be asexual because apparently asexuality doesn't even exist. And I've had others try to convince me that if I just had sex with them, that, you know, I'd be cured being asexual. And let's not get into that one. But I've never been denied a job or housing because I'm asexual, or had someone actually try to use corrective rape to fix me. Like, not forcibly, they just suggested it. But others in less spaces have experienced those things. And I'm not at a point in my life with the legal system's narrow definition of family is directly harmful to me, but others are, and not just asexual people either, mind you. And even though I deal with stupid comments and being dehumanized by others sometimes, I have a support network strong enough to counter those voices. A whole lot of others don't. We need allies because the prejudice and discrimination are real and it's harmful. We need allies because with 7 billion people on this planet, that means 70 million people, like roughly, are asexual. And many of those people think something is wrong with them. And they need to hear that they're okay. We need allies because no one should ever have to grow up feeling like they're broken or less human than their non-asexual peers. We'll continue this conversation tomorrow when I tell you about how you can be an asexual ally and give you some cool things you can do. So like this video, subscribe, stay tuned for more. Still feel super weird saying that, it's going to be a while. And feel free to leave a comment or send me a message if you have any questions or comments about this video or asexuality or pretty much anything, and I will do my best to answer. Bye!